Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors and Dynaco appreciators. Hey, look at this one. I just had a funny thought. This is a Dynaco PAT-4 preamp. And I was just thinking, yeah, when was the last time I worked on one of these? I'm thinking, it's 10 years anyway. Yeah, these newer Dynacos. This is one of the newer Dynacos, and it's from about 78. I'm looking for a date stamp on this one. I can't. Usually there's one right in this area. Not seeing it. That's interesting. It's probably covered up by something. This one's had some work done to it. The jacks have been upgraded. And as you know, those original jacks corroded quite a bit. But this is just a funny thing. Maybe this is just me. But you want the best connection on the jacks. Okay, you put in these gold jacks, new terminal boards. Really nice job of connecting them. Look at these outlets. The power outlets, 2 of them are broken. This one here, I don't know if you can see it. The blade is like a 1/16 of an inch away from the metal chassis. Right there. And then this one here's broken there, this one here, and maybe 1/8 of an inch. That worries me a bit. If you were to plug something into that, let's say like the Stereo 120, and it were just a little bit of weight on it, you'd be grounding out one side of the AC line. Maybe you'd be lucky it'd be the neutral side. Maybe unlucky it'd be the hot side. Because it's a non-polarized cord. But anyway, just a little point. I'm going to fix that up for sure. Let me just get a good shot inside. So this has the original Dynaco boards, but it's had a kit put into it. So new resistors, new caps, some upgrades. Looks like on the transistors have been replaced. It has the Darlington upgrade for the 4th transistor. Actually, let's do this so you can see it better. What I like about these is they're fairly light compared to the old Dynacos. Nichicon golds in the power supply. New resistors in the power supply, so the old ones are gone. It has the tone control bypass. But I actually remember doing one of these. I swear this one's wired backwards because in this position, I believe you're supposed to have tone controls, and this one is bypass, one notch to the right, but it's the opposite, and off maybe means off to the tone controls. Original switchgear, really nice faceplate and knobs. It's still from factory. See the monitor? You put it to tape and it springs back. Most of these I've worked on, people say, would you get that spring out of there? I say, okay, I'm going to take the switch out and you twist it and break it off. And because people are just like, why would they do that? Well, there's some mythology that they did that in order to lower warranty claims. People saying, oh, my unit doesn't work, and meanwhile it's in the tape position. It's a tape monitor loop, okay, for a 3-head machine. So what it means is you're recording, let's say, from the phono input. You're on input here. It's sending the phono signal from a magnetic cartridge, amplified and equalized out to your tape deck. It's recording, and there's an extra head that picks it up a split second after it's recorded. So you go in the tape position, you can hear what you're recording, whether the bias is right, whether the levels are right. And this is the only product I've ever seen where it's like that. So I'm going to fix that. It's got the LED mod in there. The one thing I noticed is the tone controls are really wonky. A lot of play in them. There's actually a way I can fix that up. Need a couple of felts in between them. Just makes them, you may never touch them, you may never use them, but sometimes you do. So there's not that much to do in this one. The biggest issue I found was this rotary selector switch. I don't know, that may not even be in your view. Let's bring it back down here. Right there. Original switch. I tried a few things out on it. Phono left channel, dead. And this switch is really dirty. Both of them are really dirty, quite a bit of corrosion. And I gave it a quick little spray and I got the left channel back, so it's in the switch. These tended to turn black with oxidation. And what you've got to do, what I do is I take a tiny, tiny piece of pencil eraser, like just cut a chunk off, and put it on the, put it into some needle nose, or use the pencil and clean those tracks, and then do the deoxit or MG chemical spray. That I think will improve quite a bit. So I'm going to fix up a few of the loose ends on this one and then try it out again. There's quite a lot of switch noise on this one. Some of them are quieter than others. What I mean is you have volume down, but you turn the switch and there's a thwack each time you turn it, which makes me think there's a ground that's not quite down to chassis. Same thing when you turn the bass and treble. You're hearing a lot of... You shouldn't hear that. These controls are actually, I know they're loose and everything, but I'll see what I can do with it. But these are a nice unit, I have to admit. It's not even early solid state, it's earlier solid state. They were nicely made, nicely packaged, not hard to build, and have stood the test of time. In fact, I was looking at a newer Adcom unit recently. It had to be junked because there's one op amp in it. It was originally soldered down, should be socketed. Somebody had replaced it and just, I don't know what they used, a blowtorch, no. They overheated and just ruined the board, and I just was, it was one of my personal use. I was just like, this is not worth it, this is a parts unit. And that's the trouble with the newer stuff, like something like this. If you were to damage one land while changing a transistor, you can fix it pretty easily, so it's solid. But on on an IC, it's harder. Anyway, it is a looker too. Just picture that on top of the stereo 120. Well, actually beside it would be better. Thanks for watching and listening.